your boy Roy Jones Jr. and right now you tuned into World Combat Sports.
Good morning, everyone. You're tuned in to World Combat Sports. Salute on this Thursday, man. It's one day closer to the weekend, as I always say. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the supporters and everything that goes along with that. One love to you. So, before I get started, I want to take y'all through like a little, a skim. You know what I'm saying? You see my tweet out there about the agreement. That put the alert up. You know what I'm saying? Just read the thumbnail and everything else. I just want to make it be known so people can understand how the YouTube carnival works. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand how the YouTube carnival works. So, people ask me, well, why are you just talking about, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence? I said, well, you just didn't hear me talk about, Jesse James, Bam Rodriguez, and Sor Rungfasai. I mean, I can talk about boxing as a whole, but since I'm on my own schedule and timeline, I can pretty much pick up any topic I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I want the payload to be, I can goddamn run through the day with that and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It depends. It's all on me, bro. But this is, a situation that I want to be a part of. You know what I'm saying? I choose to insert myself into this topic of conversation since the window is narrowing and we're getting closer and closer to the big announcement. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to D-Ray Promotions in the building. Sir Senior on deck. Salute WCS. What's good? Shout out to the Randa Street and Dr. K Streeter sisters in the building. The queens of all queens. Appreciate you pulling up. Y'all clap it up for the Streeter twins on deck. So my whole process with this, right, to keep y'all informed, you know what I'm saying, educate as much as I possibly can on the situation that's going on with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Now, as I told you all, there's been a surplus of undisputed fights surrounding these two names that has happened without problems. They've been agreed upon, signed, sealed, and the fight has delivered inside the ropes. That's very essential that we understand what inside the ropes is. Most of this fight with Crawford and Spence has been debated and fought outside the ropes for years upon years upon years. And we know that since it's outside the ropes, these fighters aren't getting paid for that. They're not getting paid for outside the ropes. So we've been on YouTube talking this, ramping it up, inflating every type of thing, plot and narrative we can. And we still at square one right now. The good thing is, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence has agreed. You know what I'm saying? They have absolutely agreed on something. They agreed on something, bro. You know what I'm saying? That I can attest to and say without a shadow of a doubt, they have agreed on something. We don't know what that agreement is, but they have agreed on something. I'm telling you, you got to put it out here. They have agreed on something. So just like they were saying that the big announcement is going to be next Monday. So through the weekend, people are going to be on high alert, y'all. Don't forget WCS told you people on high alert right now. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna go through the weekend all ramped up. They're gonna drink a little bit more than usual just to get the Monday. You know why? Because a lot of people are off this weekend. You know, they got the holiday, July 4th. People feeling good. So they're gonna go out there and get toasted. Partially because they believe the news is gonna be broke July 4th. Now I'm not the naysayer or the angry bird or mully grub that's out here telling you different. I'm just saying that I haven't seen it out here at all, nowhere else. That's my point. I haven't seen it. I haven't read it. I haven't been able to basically screenshot it and use it as a source of information for my viewers. I haven't been able to do that shit. So you say, thank you for keeping the boxing community informed. No Hey, you welcome. Thank y'all, man, for what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? It's good to see you in the live chat there, Randa. Real talk. Real talk. Randa says she's on high alert for sure. For sure. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people on this weekend, this is the perfect weekend to put out information because it's a holiday weekend. It's July 4th weekend. A lot of people are going to be traveling, doing their thing, you know, having their festivities. And in the boxing community, if they tune into YouTube, they're going to be waiting to see if anything happens this weekend with this announcement. Like I told you before, they have agreed. You know what I'm saying? If you look at my thumbnail, they have agreed, man. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford has absolutely agreed. It's Thursday. You know what I'm saying? They have agreed that it is Thursday. Real talk. Yesterday, we went over the situation with Brian Custard and his interview with Danny Garcia. He asked that Danny Garcia provide his perspective on the fight. And Danny Garcia gave his thought on Errol Spence. He gave his thoughts on Terrence Crawford. What he did was he tried to remain neutral as possible. You know what I'm saying? Because Danny pretty much is cool with both fighters, from my understanding. All right. But what the YouTube community did was that wasn't enough for them. That wasn't enough. Just like Roy Jones, you know, pretty much giving his side of what he believed Errol should do as far as taking a step up in competition prior to Sean Porter. I mean, it was clear and plain, right? He was just saying, as a Hall of Famer, as a legend of the sport, he wanted to see Errol Spence fight somebody. He fought him. You know, he won a split decision. It wasn't dominant. Then the situation happened outside of the ring. He came back and he just said he wanted to see him fight somebody outside the accident. And they just took away his Hall of Fame weekend, attempted to, because they couldn't touch it. They attempted to diminish his Hall of Fame induction. And then, you know, you have some YouTube channels that was there, and you had Hall of Famers up there giving their prediction on who wins between Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. And a lot of them were saying Terrence Crawford. Now, it's not something that's extremely weird or strange that you're talking about. You have boxers who fall in the ring. They competed on a high level, and they're giving their prediction on the fight. All right? Outside of Paulie Malignaggi. They're giving their prediction on the fight. And people still not accepting it. They're still not accepting. They call themselves hardcore boxing fans, but they're not accepting the fact that legends giving their opinions, and it's Crawford. It's not the name that they are favored. So they get mad, and they start pretty much becoming dogmatic towards the fighter who said it, not respecting the fighter for what they've been able to accomplish, and they go into the Hall of Fame, but they choose to be dogmatic and speak in an inferior way, as if that person don't know what they're talking about. And these are people who actually trained, fought, you know what I'm saying? Trained, fought, won, became champions, took their wins and losses, retired from the sport. You know what I'm saying? Considered the highest of high. They're in the pantheon of boxing. they're considered boxing gods. You know what I'm saying? And they get no respect because they're not picking little old Errol Spence. You feel me? I mean, it don't make any sense to me. It don't make any sense. But then you get the ones that's from New York, and Danny Garcia understands that Errol Spence is from Long Island, so he's rocking with it subliminally because they're not from Texas. Errol's from freaking Long Island, just like Paulie. Paulie refused to say anything extremely positive about Terrence Crawford, and he's going with Errol Spence because Errol Spence from Long Island. You know what I'm saying? People can't really fuck with Omaha like that in their minds unless they fuck with Terrence Crawford. That's the whole deal right there. You're supposed to fuck with the fighter, support the fighter though. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to support the fighter. That's all I'm saying. But then, you get people who say, okay, Omaha is really no boxers, no history up there, but you have one right now. You know what I'm saying? And right now, we have a situation where word has been passed that this may indeed go down this weekend for an announcement, an official announcement. Okay. What does official mean? So officially mean all it says is something that is pretty much, let me take this comment down, in a formal and public way. Officially, in a formal and public way. We just need to wait till it's formally announced to the public from those credible sites. We need to wait till it's formally announced, official. You know what I'm saying? We are not official. Okay? The YouTube Carnival is not official. You go there for play. It's some content here, and it gets serious a little bit, especially when you want to get on the roller coaster. You know what I'm saying? You want to get on the roller coaster. You're gonna, goddamn, it's gonna get serious for a lot of y'all. You be drooling on yourself. You know what I'm saying? You lose your phone. Your eyes are closed. You know what I'm saying? You're clenching. You clenching the goddamn, the iron bar. You never even been in that situation. You know what I'm saying? It's new for you. That's what it does have a little seriousness in the carnival. But in this particular case, we should just let the formal announcement be made. Just be patient. That's all I'm saying. Just be patient. Let's look at agreed. Now, I put this up here because certain individuals would try to explain to me that discussed or negotiated and then accepted by all parties. That's what agreed mean. Discussed or negotiated and then accepted by all parties. Now, this could be a non-physical type of deal. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking about someone has agreed on something, it can be something that's non-physical. Non-physical can be something that doesn't require you to put your name on paper. You're not picking up a pen and you're not signing a document. It doesn't matter if it's DocuSign online or you picking up a pen and signing in person. Agree can be something that is non-physical between one or more persons. It has to be, between one or more persons, and they agree upon it, whether it be verbally or it be a head nod, you know what I'm saying, a wink, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is, they can agree upon the shit. It doesn't mean that the contract is binding and everything is signed, sealed, delivered. Boxing, when fights are made, it shouldn't have to always be collateral voices coming together to speak on something. Everybody have their difference of opinion, and then it just turn into a toilet bowl. Like everybody flush all their shit down the toilet, and then they put more shit in and keep on flushing the same shit down the toilet. We shouldn't have to do this in boxing. It doesn't happen in MMA. We don't have to do it in boxing. Just let the fight and the promotion, the managers, everybody do their part. The attorneys, they get together and they make it happen. Because what we're doing is for the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford situation, Like I told you before, we're doing nothing really. I don't think what we do is even 1% as far as the population goes in boxing. Because we know the population of YouTube doesn't even scratch the surface for the population of habitation on Earth. You know what I'm saying? The general pop, it doesn't come close because not everybody watches boxing. But in the boxing community, we still don't have true raw numbers on who actually watch the sport. There's people that show up to a boxing match just like they show up to a sale on Black Friday. They don't know. They just say, "Oh, we out here in Vegas. I heard it's a boxing match going on. Hey, yeah, let's go get some cheap tickets." And they stop in there because boxing used to be a gentleman's sport. You know, fellas, we get dressed up. You know, we take our lady and we go to a boxing match. You know what I'm saying? You was dressed the part. People came in there and they was dressed up. That has since became dated, and people show up to the fight any way they feel like. But the bad thing about this day and time, we have social media. We have a platform where individuals can create framework. They can insert whatever message they want in their framework, and they can produce it out to the audience. As long as there's no copyright shit, anything like that. They can take their own words and they can go out here and convince whoever's listening this is exactly what is going on. The dark side to it all is that we have individuals that just want to be a part of a community in the social media area. All they want to do is just be a part of something. So they'll listen for anything. They're not really studying boxing. They're listening to the person who's talking about boxing. They ain't studying this shit. So wherever they're hearing about Spence and Crawford, they just gonna take it as is. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna take it as is. Okay. If so and so said it, he sounds like he's talking about, boom. That's what we're gonna run with. And they're gonna go tell a friend who know a friend. Not everybody that tunes into boxing studies it outside of just tuning into YouTube. To be honest with you, you have a lot of people that just tune in for the comfort of the companionship. They're around people. They don't know them. They haven't ate lunch with them. Most of these people on YouTube, they haven't eaten lunch. They haven't went out socially and bonded, at least 3 times a month. They're not doing that on a regular basis. But they'll show up on a live chat and they'll listen to what you have to say. And then they'll keep it moving. And then they see a notification. They come back. Boom. And it becomes like a step family. The only thing I ask of the step family to remember that there's a space in between what we know about the team and where we at in this social media kingdom. There's a huge divide in space that we could never cover unless we're working directly with the team. So I'm asking y'all to be smart about it when it comes to Crawford Spence and just filter through all the false shit that goes out. Because that text that I put up, this right here, it said Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence has finally agreed. And then at the bottom, I put it's Thursday. They agreed that it's Thursday. I didn't put any punctuations or question marks or anything. I didn't say what they agreed on. I just put that up there because people are so anxious. You know what I'm saying? They're so desperate to find out any information. And the bad thing about it, once the fight is made, like, listen to me. Once the fight is made official, if it does, once the fight is made official, y'all, you want to ask yourself, what's next? It's no what next. It's no what next. Now there becomes a situation where you have the people who was talking about the shit, and now you have the individuals who can actually attend this shit. That's where we filter through the nonsense. We have the people that's been talking about this for the longest of time. I can't wait. And now when the fight is officially announced, you have the people that can actually go to the fight. That's where the separation, that's where the divide, that's where the level change is going to come into place. Because I'm being honest. I'm not being freaking arrogant about it. But there's a lot of people that was talking that they was gonna go to this fight and this, that, and the other. Now to find out it's gonna be in Vegas, they just can't go. Let's be honest with ourselves. They just can't go. And WCS, I need to let y'all. I need to make y'all aware of that. Those are these individuals that was talking, all this shit about the fight, all the build up, what they gonna do, this, that, and the other. Now that this fight is in Vegas, supposedly they're not going to be able to attend. Now that we know they're going to be sitting right here in the YouTube carnival eating that goddamn synthetic cotton candy, then you have the individuals that's actually going to be able to attend the fight. They can actually afford to go to Vegas, get a room, first of all, plan their flight, go to Vegas, get the ticket, and go see the fight. That's all alone having enough money to buy their food and everything else that goes along with it, go shopping, and see the fight. Others fall into the realm of my guy Rick Glazer and what he said. That's what others, some of the others, not all of them, that's what some of the others fall into the realm of what Rick Glazer said perfectly. Perfectly. And it should piss you off because really, the shit is absolutely true when it comes to Crawford Spence. Let me remind you.
One on one. Just say to them, ask them, do you buy the pay per view, or are you illegally getting it? Are you stealing it? Oh man, motherfucker, I steal it. I said, well, there you go. But you're supporting your fighter.
You get what I'm saying? Like when the fight is made official, my attitude is for those of you that made 1,000 thumbnails on this fight for years upon years at a time, you should have been able to save enough money to go over there and actually see the fight so you can have an eye view, a physical presence there at the fight and watch history in the making so you can come back amongst others that's on the YouTube community and say, you know what? I absolutely enjoyed that. It was good to see them in person. It was good to go through an entire fight week. You know what I'm saying? It was good to put some work in and this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? I can actually say I was there because that's what they said about Spence Ugas. And yeah, I'm being petty about the shit because these cats be tripping, man. They be on talking that bullshit. Yeah, I was at the fight. I was at the fight. Let's see if you're gonna be at this fight. Because when Wilder Fury was announced, and all y'all who said y'all support Wilder, I only saw a select few faces out there with Wilder Fury. So now you have Crawford Spence back on deck for conversation. And they saying that, hey, officially it may be announced this week or next Monday on Independence Day. How many of y'all gonna get up and put that ticket in? That's where we're gonna separate the talkers from the walkers. You know what I'm saying? You got the talkers that's gonna be right here on YouTube, and you got the walkers that's gonna walk their ass up to the goddamn gate, get their damn ticket scanned, get on for a flight, boom, land over there in Vegas. They're gonna go up to their room, get checked in and shit. They're gonna go on about their fight week. Boom, they're gonna hit the damn weigh-ins, pop that. Then it's gonna be fight day. They're gonna pop that. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Some people are gonna get the ticket for credentials. Some people are gonna get the access. Not everybody. That's just the way it is. It don't matter if it's two black fighters. It don't matter. Because like I was told, oh, everybody's trying to, get credentials for this fight if it happens. Everybody, you're no different than everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody trying to get these credentials. Everybody want. When you have people talking like that, me, I'm not saying I'm guaranteed to cover the fight with credentials. It would be a blessing, but it's not guaranteed that I will be approved for credentials. That doesn't mean not showing up to the fight. You know what I'm saying? Then I will have to, once again, get a ticket and show up to the fight and still get my media shit. I've been up to Vegas without credentials before and got mad footage. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's certain access you don't have. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out because everybody's gonna want to cover this fight, man. And you look at it like if the promotion really wants to get the content out there, they will approve a bulk load of the YouTube community that's been covering this for the longest time, get them on deck and be able to cover these fighters because let's just say it's no rematch clause. We may never see them step in the ring again. We may never see Spence and Crawford step in the ring again. It doesn't matter if they move up to 154. If someone's seen this fight at 47 and they both move up to 54, who wants to see it again at 54 and belts are not on the line? I don't want to see it. Certain people earn that status. Like, you've seen them fight before. So therefore, do we really want to revisit that just because it's at another weight class and no belts involved? No, they're the same human beings. And, what's the purpose? Are they fighting for a title next? Is this a title eliminator or something? It has to be some skin in the game. It has to be worth it. Sir Ken on deck. World Combat Sports salute. Salute to the wrenches. Salute to the chat. Smash the like button. Salute to everyone that's in the building. Shout out once again to Mr. Gumbo on deck with it. The super chat dropping 10 on deck. Marvelous, oh marvelous. They agreed it's Thursday and tomorrow's Friday. Absolutely, there, Mr. Gumbo. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. They agreed today is Thursday and tomorrow is Friday. But they have agreed. You know what I'm saying? Somebody already on tap. Somebody's already on tap, man. One love to you. Appreciate the donation once again, Mr. Gumbo. Thanks for supporting the channel, bro. Andrew said WCS salute. Salute to Andrew on deck with it on this Thursday. Randa say, yep. You do what you gotta do. Yeah, for real. You do what you gotta do. Like, real talk, people don't want to hear what I just said, but that's just reality of it. Like, me knowing Randa them, I know they're not gonna go to just any fight. And the big fights, they have their format for which they're going to attend the fight. I know that. I totally understand that. You know what I'm saying? I totally understand that their mentality as to what fight they're going to attend and why. They're not just going to any fight and go through certain basic formats that we media have to go through. So if you're not approved for credentials on that fight, you still got to find a way to be on fight week and get the content. That's where it's just going to separate when it comes from this YouTube. Because look, they're building it up, right? They're really building this up. And I'm not being the Grinch that stole the official announcement on the 4th of July, with an M80 in my hand. No, I'm not trying to do that. All I'm saying is, once the fight is announced, what more do you want? What more? Are you going to make reservations? Once the fight is announced, and you find out where the fight is at, are y'all going to make reservations? Are y'all making reservations, man? Are you getting on that flight that's going to be expensive? Because Vegas ain't no goddamn hopping and skip. Are you going to hop on the flight, get your reservations, make your reservations to wherever the host hotel is going to be? Because I don't think it's going to be at the MGM. It's probably, more likely going to be, at the T-Mobile or possibly Allegiance. It's according to what they're coming up with the numbers as far as the allocated numbers, as far as the tickets they want to put out there. But I don't know. I have no idea. But once the fight is announced, we've talked about everything you can potentially or possibly or whatever you talked about behind closed doors or in the streets. There's nothing else to talk about with this fight. Absolutely not. We don't need to talk about no film study. We don't need to talk about predictions, fighter breakdown. We don't need none of that shit because it's already out on YouTube and it's a waste of time to speak on it anymore. We've got him, and we have human beings on this social media platform that's acting like we're Russia and Ukraine. You really have Spence and Crawford fans to a point, for some people, that is an all-out war. That's your enemy. And we all Americans. We talking about somebody who served the country and fought in combat and all this other stuff. But yet I'm here in garrison in my own country, right? That I served. And on YouTube, it's this fake ass war of different sides of the army. You have Crawford Army, Spence Army, and people are acting like they really on the front lines with this shit. Like they really on the front lines, connected to the promotions, and acting like they in negotiations. Look, I just have to put it out there, bro. When this fight is announced, nothing more is gonna satisfy you. The only thing we're gonna hear is, oh, so and so gonna knock this out. Yeah, this fighter gonna beat that fighter. That fighter gonna beat that fighter. Everything has been talked about. Everything. There's no need to look at film study. We don't need to look and see, what happened with Kavalaskis. We don't need the Spencer Hollis to go back and talk 8 years ago about what Gamboa did without talking about the multiple times he was knocked down. We don't need to go to every fight that you felt that Crawford was hurt to justify why Errol Spence is going to win. We don't need to hear none of that shit. At this point in time, it's just garbled information. It really has no substance at all. It's really nothing else. Like when they just fought, when Errol Spence stepped in this year, beat Dennis Ugas, and Terrence Crawford defeated Sean Porter last year. People didn't want to talk about those two bits of information unless they was going to say, well, check it out like this. They both end the stoppages, but Kenny Porter did what he did. They didn't want to really give it the way it's supposed to, give it the attention that they wanted to give it. They should have just said, now this is how we build up a fight. Both of these guys are coming off recent stoppages. Errol Spence finally picks up the third belt. So he's a WBC, WBA, IBF, and that's what they wanted. That's what they wanted. They wanted Errol Spence to have 3 belts to Crawford's 1. And I always went up here and told people that there were similarities to what Canelo did. All right, I'm about to explain to you. Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. What's good? Peace, brothers in World Combat Sports. Man, big shout out to Mr. Gumbo once again, my brother. Much appreciation to you. Much appreciation to you, bro. Thanks for the dang super chat. The goddamn half a hundo in the building, man. Much appreciation to you, man. W says this is for you. Your Uber ride. I will be there, bro. For real, man. We have to link up, man. You know what I'm saying? We definitely have to link up. Thanks for that. I definitely use it for my Uber, bro. You know what I'm saying? I definitely use it for my Uber, no doubt about it. Because gas is like what? You know what I'm saying? Gas is like sitting at what? Close to $5 for premium down here. I'm in the South. Damn near close to $5. God damn. But much appreciate you, brother, for that. One love. So I'm saying to myself, right? What else is there for us to talk about on here? What are we going to have a debate about? What are we going to have debate about? I mean, seriously. I'm just trying to treat this as if we having a dialogue about the obvious. What are we going to have a conversation about when this fight is announced? Everything is out here for public record. Every thumbnail you can imagine talking about this fight. So listen, to any content creator, once this fight is announced, if it's announced, there's no need for you to go back and start dogging out Bud Crawford, telling what he hasn't done, what he needs to do, and what he can't do when he ain't never Spence. We don't need to hear that bullshit. Just like we don't need to hear what Spence can't do for Crawford. If he does that, this might happen and all this other stuff. There's no need for that. The only thing we should be patient about right now is building up the fight, in a positive light in its perspective, so people can start to gravitate to it and understand that it ain't an all-out, full-blown war on YouTube between people that live in the same country. We have the Spence and Crawford sides. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a full blown battle. It's a war. And everybody on the front line with this. Some of us are on the front line. We actually attend the fights. But I'm saying, really, just ask yourself, are you truly going to be satisfied once the fight is announced? You're not going to be no more happier, man, once they come out and say the fight has been announced, unless you are attending the fight. I don't want to hear none of y'all motherfuckers get on here. They've been talking all this shit for years upon years. Tomorrow, man, I wish I can go to the fight. I don't want to hear that shit. Man, you had all them years we've been talking about this fight. You had plenty enough time to save up for it. The fight happened and now you can't show up. You got to watch it and you got to say, motherfucker, I steal it. You going to steal the fight? You gonna watch it on somebody's IG and then have the audacity to get your ass on live and talk about the numbers of pay-per-view when you was up there cracking the motherfucker? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a carnivore out here, bro. Don't say WCS didn't tell you. I told you that they have agreed. Just like Gumbo said, they have agreed today is Thursday and tomorrow is Friday. Hopefully, I made y'all weekend, you know what I'm saying, with this announcement. I didn't put any question marks because I'm absolutely against the question mark posers that's out here deceiving the fans. Seriously. Don't be mad at me, man. I know these cats be behind the scenes. Oh, man. And they always trying to goddamn speak subliminal. Look, if you are a grown-ass adult and you pop up in my chat complaining about me saying something about question marks, that means you guilty of it. You guilty of it, dog. You guilty of it. That means something I said, pinched a nerve, and you felt that you had to comment. When people say bud sexuals and all that shit, you never hear me goddamn comment on that. You don't hear me getting all irate. Oh, them typing fingers go to work. Sin. That's not me because I don't consider myself a bud sexual, first of all. And you say, I agree, once the fight is announced, we ain't got to talk about shit. We don't need any more breakdowns or predictions or anything. Everybody knows exactly how everyone else stands on the topic. God damn it. Absolutely. Perfectly written. Well said. True words. We have all of that. We don't need any more breakdowns or predictions or anything. Once again, we don't need any more breakdowns or predictions or anything. Everybody knows exactly how everyone else stands on this topic. It's perfect. Don't say I didn't tell you now. I know a lot of y'all, I'll be in the chat. I see a lot of y'all in the other chats. When the fight is announced, say to yourself, if what you're listening to, does it seem like they any more happier? Because it just seems like it's going to be much more disgruntled individuals when the fight is announced. Because they're going to be start saying, oh, man, Errol Spence going to fuck Bud up. And Bud Crawford's going to come hard like we do. We're going to say, oh, no, that's not the way, it's going to go down, partner. It's not, you know what I'm saying? We're going to drain every bit of the water that you thought he was swimming in. And we're going to have a fish fry. You know what I'm saying? Because we got this hot grease already. All we doing is just allowing him to sign a contract and we're going to catch some fish. We're going to have a fish fry, you know what I'm saying? Potato salad, beans. We're going to have all that. There's nothing else to freaking talk about. All we need to do is plan a fight party if you're going to be here. Plan a fight party. Something to that point. Just plan something where you can enjoy, the festivities and see two elite fighters go in there and challenge for undisputed in the 4-belt era. No matter my criticism of Errol Spence, he's up there in the welterweight division as a 3-time world champion, and he's attempting to fight for undisputed as so Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford has one more belt just like Caleb Plant. It was a little bit of back and forth. Caleb Plant agreed to this, that, and another, and the fight still didn't happen. Then, Caleb Plant had the last belt, which is the IBF, quite different than the WBO. But Canelo came back around. Caleb got paid the most money of his career. And the fight went down, and, Canelo ended up winning. I didn't hear all this talk. I just heard, okay, who do y'all think gonna win? Okay, Caleb, you know what I'm saying? They couldn't get past the fact that Canelo didn't have a loss. So they had to sway heavy over on the side of Canelo. So that's what they did. Boom. They was going with Canelo, and they chose him, and he ended up winning. With this fight with Spence and Crawford, people understand that this fight right here is entirely different than any other fight that we've had for undisputed unification surrounding. It's different than Mel and Castano. It's different than Alvarez Plant. It's different than Ramirez Taylor. It's different than Haney Cambozo. It's just too different. It's too different, y'all. There's a lot of circumstances surrounding this. You have Terrence Crawford, who's been known to stay in the gym, stay in shape, live a healthy lifestyle and all that. And then there's a situation that happened with Spence where, it's been documented not by just World Combat Sports, but before me, that people were saying this, that, and the other. And, they felt he was doing this and this, and then it caught up with him. So a lot of us, including myself, is not sure if he's in there with a top-notch elite fighter like Terrence Crawford. Will he be able to survive if he's put in trouble like he was with Yordenis Ugas and it's Terrence Crawford? Because Terrence Crawford's not Ugas by far. He's not. So, when Ugas was hurting him with the right hands, if it was Crawford, who is one of the best closers in boxing, do you believe that Errol Spence would have survived if it was Terrence Crawford? Reflecting back on how he dog-walked Kavaliauskas, would Errol Spence survive that thrashing with or without Lawrence Cole as the third man in the ring? It wouldn't have made a difference. Look, once again, you're talking about two different fighters when it comes down to skill set, pedigrees, and the boxing IQ, man. And see the crazy part about what we've already talked about, which Andrew articulated perfectly, was that we already understand what styles both fighters present to one another. You know what I'm saying? They talk about, Errol Spence, southpaw, 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 southpaw. You know what I'm saying? And then you have a switch hit in Crawford. But they want to sit up here and take away his ability to start off an orthodox. Okay, they want to take that away and just say he's a southpaw fighter. Because, look, the only way that they can talk about Crawford is to extract what he's actually good at. You know what I'm saying? They want to take away his technical disciplines. They want to take away his mastery. They want to deplete his boxing cachet and leave him as empty as possible so they can build up Spence's possibility of stepping in there defeating him. They want to take away stuff that is obvious. It's been said that Errol Spence is not a smart fighter. Terrence Crawford's not a smart fighter. The reason why he's not a smart fighter is that he don't use all his tools. And then me, I'm sitting back like I always say, people, the way I collect data and damn catalog, and I'm saying to myself, damn, that's a smart-ass fighter right there. You trying to tell me this man's still undefeated? And he's not using all his tools? He's not allowing people to assess him with all his tools in one fight so they can say, well, if he fights this way, This will happen. If he fights that way, that will happen. If he fights this way, that way, this way, that way, this way, that, this way, that way, this way, that way, this will happen. They can't do that because they have been on record as saying that Terrence Crawford doesn't use all his skills. He doesn't use all his skills, but he's still undefeated, and he hasn't been beat at welterweight. But he doesn't use all his skills. But we've seen Errol Spence use all his skills. We've seen Errol Spence have a good training camp, come in shape, and use all his skills to defeat Urdinas Ugas recently. We've seen everything he has to offer. So, proving my point with high praise, that's why Terrence Bud Crawford is an overall technically sound fighter between the two. And that's why you have the legends out here that's saying the same thing. The legends are out here basically giving their predictions, and then YouTube is still not satisfied. If you have people that's damn saying the same thing, right? If I'm saying the same thing that these guys are saying and other people that's in the network and media, why get mad at me? Why send me message in the inbox? You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense to be mad at another human being for supporting a fighter. It makes no sense to me at all. That's not something I have to be forced to understand. Like, if I never owed you money or disrespected your family, or said anything personally or whatever the case, you shouldn't be running around here with your skirt flailing all around, crying. And to my Scotty said this, Scotty said that. I'm talking about a third party. I'm talking about a boxer. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a freaking boxer. A boxer who I have never broke bread in his home. I've never been in the company of his family to the point where me and Terrence was breaking bread. I've seen him on several occasions, but never have I been there where I'm just chopping it up. You know what I'm saying? We eat some real good food, some filet mignon, and we just chopping it up about boxing. Bernie's in the building, Bo Mac, everybody. It's never been that. So if I haven't had that connection, why am I going to get upset, furious, calling some of my bitch ass niggas and all this other shit that goes on? Why would even go to that, bro? Because you immature as hell. You haven't got to your grown man maturity yet. You know what I'm saying? If you really pissed off at what others people's opinions are about this fight, and we done ran this shit in the dirt, this topic is pretty much in BFTV's graveyard right now. Real talk. It's done. Give it a headstone. Let it rest in peace. I'm talking about the topic on YouTube. Just let it rest in peace, man. Let's goddamn have a date set up where we can do a visual and go there and we all pray once the fight is announced and we leave it alone. Besides that, it's nothing else we can walk down the boulevard with that's new, refreshing, besides the lies. And that's my point that I want to make. I really hope this is announced soon because I'm tired of the lies, man. I'm tired of dudes selling themselves out for the lies as if, you need that extra penny. I want the fight to be announced. I want to get it over with so you can stop the lies. I'm pretty sure some storytellers on here that's going to be like, oh, the fight is announced. But Terrence Crawford is rumored. It's rumored that a pterodactyl, he ran into a primitive dinosaur when he was out on the run, and he was bitten in the leg. The fight might be off. The fight might be off, y'all. Terrence Crawford was running that night, and he ran by a sewage drainage, and Chucky slit his leg with a knife. The fight might be off, y'all. Real talk, it might be off. Chucky, they're still searching for him. I'm saying that's what we're gonna come down to because we see it now. We see it when the fight isn't announced, and we're gonna see it after the fight is announced. They're gonna come up with some buffoonery. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna come up with some new shit. So and so was seen coughing. He was at the subway station. He was seen coughing. I'm not for sure, but it seemed like he might have some type of virus or something. I'm serious. This shit ain't gonna never stop, dog. You know, Crawford was seen in the gym punching the heavy bag, and he shook out his left hand. Oh, it's just a rumor, but he might have broke his hand. Crawford and Bomac, they were seen having a heated discussion. Oh man, this is bad for Crawford. He may not make it to the fight. What is he gonna do if he don't have Bomac in his corner? Oh my God, what is he gonna do? I'm telling you, dog. IB, what's good, bro? I be up there taking the brother's money and shit, then showing back up in my chat. Damn, he hit me for the 2-1 okey doke. That's all good, man. It was my choice. Yeah, 215. Somebody caught monkeypox. Terrence Crawford caught monkeypox, man. You know, it was said that Terrence Crawford was in the gym and just finished sparring, and he was scratching himself real bad. Oh man, that might be monkeypox right there. Terrence Crawford might have monkeypox. Oh my God. I wonder how many people, they say that shit contagious, right? Oh shit, man, they need to sanitize over there at B&B. I'm telling you, dog. I'm telling you, bro. This shit is insane, man. WCS, what up, OG? What's good with it, bro? How you feeling? Bud already knocked Spence in 1971. Mr. Gumbo said, salute D-Ray promotion. My brother just left Omaha. That's what's up, man. How's Omaha, bro? Let us know what's good with Omaha over there, man. Before they collect these straps. They already Omaha's already used to having them straps over there. First and foremost, you know what I'm saying? It's not like it's anything new to Omaha. They already used to him coming home with the belts. You know what I'm saying? There's pictures out there. There's plenty on Google Images. They're used to this. All they doing is preparing for the second coming. That's all. They preparing another goddamn parade for the second coming, man. Once he scooped these welterweight titles up, that's all that is. That's all, man. That's it. Shout out to Foul Play on Deck, man. Just coming through now. Is the deal done? Look, all I say is the thumbnail that I have is that they agreed that the day was Thursday and tomorrow's Friday. You know what I'm saying? That's it. The agreement. I didn't put no question marks out that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a poser like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a poser. I didn't put Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence has finally agreed. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. No, I didn't do that. There's no need. We haven't heard no official news, Foul Player. We haven't heard any official news that's basically being presented across the timelines so we can extract not just a timelines. We need more than one source to grab this information so we can say the fight is official. And you know, once it come out with the promotion now, we know what it is. Once Showtime pop it, boom, we know what it is. We good. Once the tweet come out, you're gonna see all these YouTubers over there tweeting and replying to either Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford. All is gonna be, oh, it's time to get knocked out. Oh, it's time to get put to sleep. What you gonna do when you lose your belt? It's just gonna be the same shit. It's nothing else we have to talk about. It should be extremely quiet on this matter once it's announced. They should be basically out there trying to find a way to get to the fight. That's all. We don't need to talk about shit. Yeah, they agreed today was Thursday and tomorrow's Friday there. And shout out to Greg Williams on deck. What's good? He said North Omaha ain't no joke. Hey, Terrence Crawford ain't no joke. You know what I'm saying? And he's already brought those titles back. So, Omaha's conditioned to have a undisputed world champion in their presence. They're used to that. Real talk. They're used to that. Leon Deck was good with it. Said, "What's popping, WCS? What's popping, bro?" Bateman on deck. Foul player said, "Never that. You're the antithesis of a poser." I love this channel. Antithesis. Man, you come on here using those. Look, when you use those $7 words with me, I don't hate on you. I say kudos, man. You know what I'm saying? I congratulate you for that shit. William say will be announced 4th of July. Okay. All right. That's what I heard. We have all weekend, which is pretty much here. You know what I'm saying? We have all weekend and we have a holiday weekend at that. So if it's indeed they're going to place this out, they're gonna fire up the blimp and they're gonna put this in the dang, airwaves of the boxing media on 4th of July. Let's see it. Let's see it. I don't want no dispute. I don't want nothing. I don't want any excuses, anything. If they're gonna put this shit out this weekend, I want to see it. That's all. That's all. Because I'm gonna tell you, my tone is gonna be different come Tuesday if I didn't hear anything about this fight on the 4th. It's gonna be different. I'm just sitting. I'm chilling right now because I'm not gonna get all hyped up off what people saying about Crawford losing. Crawford ain't doing this. Crawford can't do that. And then they don't look. They refuse to look at the way Spence looked in his fight with Udenis Ugas. They refuse that shit. They refuse to know that he got hurt. He was hurt from a guy with 4 losses, and no one really considered him a threat for Spence. You know what I'm saying? Even though he defeated Pacquiao, they didn't think, you know what I'm saying, that Spence will lose because Spence looked in phenomenal shape. You know what I'm saying? Aesthetically. But yet they refusing to understand that he may have internal damage that may affect him for the rest of his life. But he was hurt in there, man. That's one of the worst fights I've seen Spence in a long time. His fight with Ugas is one of the worst. I don't care if Ugas stopped fighting and his eye became injured. That is one of the worst fights that I've seen Spence in. One of the worst. Real talk, one of the worst, man. Because Udenis Ugas was tapping him with some simple stuff. That's all I'm saying, Shawty. Appreciate everyone in the live chat, man. Those of you that name rock with the channel. The only reason I keep on talking about this because, what goes on behind the scene. It is some other fights that's up and coming. Say, for instance, Joshua and Alexander Usyk, but I just have to talk about them whenever I feel like it because I can. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Right now, the topic of discussion is, Devin Haney, is he going to fight George Kambosos next or Gervonta Davis? That's going to be my closing topic today. I'm gonna give you my take on why fighters act the way they do with media, when it comes to achieving such a high reward, a high accomplishment And you haven't even had what, a full month or two removed from the achievement, and the boxing fans are trying to get you in here to fight somebody else, or they want to know why you ain't fighting that. They don't have anything to do with negotiations of business, but they criticizing you already. D-Ray say, WCS Cookie Casual Temporary Boxing Fans, again, appreciate you, D-Ray, as always, my brother. But Greg, I hope you're right. I hope you're right on that. I hope you're right, because I'm not convinced. Bateman said, in my opinion, Bud is pound for pound. Yes, sir. And a clean fighter. And a clean fighter, too. Let's not just, comb over that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's straight hair. No. He's a clean fighter, too. Let's recognize that. Let's put that first and foremost at the top. You know what I'm saying? When you sort through your recall memory, that should be at the top when it comes to Bud Crawford. He's a clean fighter. I'm betting on 10 days, not 2. Okay. And you might be on to something, D-Ray. Combat Sports, how you having me thinking of watching EJ Ugas? And man, y'all need to watch that EJ Ugas fight, man, because the Spencer Holics, they might be at the bar trying to freaking watch that fight, and that's not the way you do it. You don't go to a sports bar and watch that fight because you're not fully focused on what you're looking at. Be in the privacy of your own home. The real ones who actually paid for the fight, you should have been able to have it on DVR, and take a gander, cut it on put it on mute, and watch the fight. That's all. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing difficult about it. You don't have to be strategic. Just put it on mute and watch the fight, man. It's very important that you do that. He said, I thought Spence Motor looked really good against Ugas. Ugas stopped throwing late, and Arrow then put him down. Okay, that second part is my deal. The second part, foul player. Okay, the second part to me is what stands out. Okay, this is how I blend it together, bro. You just mentioned that he looked really good against Ugas. You complimented Errol Spence motor. Now, when you mention his motor, are you talking about a motor which is a 4-cylinder? You know what I'm saying? But on the outside, it has all the stickers, you know what I'm saying, of a turbo and shit like that. Do it have the fake stickers on the outside of it, but yet it was a 4-cylinder? Or when it pulled up on you, you heard the exhaust. You understood the rumblings was real life. You understood what the mechanics was. You know what I'm saying? It gave you everything that, damn, it's something else up under that hood. It got, it has some monsters up under there. That's not a 4-cylinder. Because the reason where I'm going with is that when you say his motor, but he still wasn't able to drop Ugas with the motor that people are saying he had. Now, he was giving you a volume of action, but he wasn't able to drop Ugas. That's a problem. That's a problem, brother. If you're going to compliment the motor, he did not run over Ugas, man. Just because Ugas swelled up and he stopped fighting all of a sudden, he did not run over that guy. He wasn't on the canvas. He didn't step over him. He didn't have a walk-off knockout. None of that. People was just enamored with Errol Spence throwing a lot of punches. The same thing he always do. That's not the first time Spence been throwing a lot of punches, bro. He did it with Mikey Garcia. I mean, he did it with Lamont Peterson. I mean, he stopped Carlos Ocampo after being hurt. Same thing. Go to the body. But I don't remember Mikey Garcia being on the canvas, though. I mean, let's sit up here and basically praise the shit out of Carlos Ocampo for coming, from the bottom subway stations, and somebody saying, hey, man, I like the weight you at right now. What weight you at? 158. Okay, shit. You ever fought? You want to fight? Oh, we were just out here looking for somebody that look in damn near decent shape. We need to put you in the rankings for mandatory with Errol Spence. You ever heard of him? He's over there in Texas. Oh, you have? Great. You want to fight him? Hey, call me at this number. We need to get you cleaned up and get you in the gym. All right? We're going to get you on primetime TV. And listen, Carlos, you don't have to pay for shit. Jerry Jones paid for it all. Well, you don't have to pay for shit. Okay? We're going to get you on primetime TV against a champion. You understand me? Yes, yes. Call that number. 4 o'clock tomorrow. We're going to get you right. They brought Carlos Ocampo from the deep depths into a mandatory position. And that fight went the way it did. He hurt Spence first. Spence closed him out. Since then, Errol Spence said it himself. It hadn't been man down in the moment. Not Scotty, but he said that. He didn't stop Mike. He didn't stop Sean Porter. He didn't fight. He didn't stop Danny Garcia. And he didn't stop Yordenis Ugas. We're going to keep it a buck. We are going to keep it a buck. You know why? If you're going to hate on my boy Crawford and talk about Kenny Porter stopped him, then guess what? Then both of those fights end up the same way. You know, Lawrence Cole wanted to take him back over there because his eye was swelled up. And they said, oh, man, hey, no, we can't do it. Let's stop him. It wasn't because, you know, Errol Spence punching him right there and Lawrence Cole steps in and wave his hand and say, no. Just like Beterbiev and Joe Smith. It wasn't a stoppage like that. The referee stopped that fight. He saved Joe Smith from the punishment. That's not the case with Spence. Even though he's credited with the TKO, take nothing away, he got the TKO just like Crawford got the TKO. But with that Bud Crawford type of energy, the damage control is different. Sean Porter was on the canvas twice, bro. Listen to me. Sean Porter was on the canvas twice against Bud Crawford. We never seen that in his career as a professional, that he was on the canvas twice in that manner. He was in a bad place. The first man ever, not the first man to defeat him, the first man ever to stop Sean Porter and put him in retirement. But all you hear leading up to this fight, like Andrew said, look, the only thing you hear leading up to this announcement in the sky is Errol Spence. He gives you volume. He gives you this. He gives you that. He gives you everything you want. He got power. And I respect one of the OGs told. We was having a conversation. I tried to tell the other people that they didn't want to hear it. They was thinking, you know, they was thinking that Roy just talked. Me and Roy had a conversation off the record. And I respect him for telling me. They just think, you know, Roy hate. No, I told Roy, I said, man, to me, Spence don't have no power like that once he increased, you know, elevated his competition. You know, I'm up there talking, man, off record. And she said, no, he said, I disagree. I think Spence has power to be on that level. You know what I'm saying? He just goes to the body. You know, he was giving me his breakdown on why he felt the way he did. I felt the way I did about Crawford power, on how he stops his opposition. And I just felt that, you know, Spence is not that guy. He's not that guy when it comes to just one punch knockout power, beating his opponent to the ground, and you know, they on their back, they pulling the Ray. I just don't see that. But is he an elite fighter? Does he have boxing skills? Is he the truth? Yes, he is. Errol can box, man. But I say the Errol before the accident, that Errol, in my opinion, that was the Errol right there. That was that Errol Spence right there was lethal. That Errol Spence right there looked strong. Man, he was that guy. But, you know, after the situation that happened, I'm just saying, man, the way I've seen him talk, act, that's neurological shit that's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? That's neurological shit to me. How can you have a accident like that and people get on here and talk about he's fully recovered 100% and you don't know shit about medical? Just like my opinions. I'm just basing my opinion on what I've seen when I was running bikes, on how the pavement is undefeated with human bodies, especially if you got a helmet on. It don't matter. People die in helmets. I've seen it. So you take somebody with no protective gear, no PPE, in a sports car and they wreck and they land on the pavement. You have people on YouTube talking about, man, I'm be honest, man. Man, I think old boy good, man. Old boy good, man. Shawty, man. You agree with me, Shawty? He good, man. I think he ain't nothing wrong with old boy, man. He good. He fought Danny Garcia. He fought Indina Zugas. But listen, bro. Listen. Look at how an elite fighter with no losses looked against Yadinas Ugas. And they absolutely omit the fact that he was hurt during that fight. All they talk about is his eye. Yadinas Ugas eye. Eye. DBMH on deck. What's good with it? 215 say Ugas swam over from Cuba, so he's not regular. Won't see Ugas versus Boots. I don't want to see Ugas versus Boots. And I guarantee you that'll be a much tougher fight than people give. Real talk. I'm telling you, if Ugas fought Boots, that'll be much different. And look, I'll take none away from somebody who was cut from that cloth to attempt to flee Cuba multiple times, getting caught, taken back, punished, and try to do it again. Much respect to you, Dennis Ugas, man. That goes far beyond the ring, man. Much respect to him. Shout out to Showtime Shot News on deck with it. Definitely check out Showtime doing this damn thing, the UGK of media. Shout out to Team Jihad Tucker, the fastest rising in the game, man. The fastest rising starting the game, man. You know what I'm saying? At welterweight division. D-Ray said, oh, okay. But all I wanna know is this right here. Like, this is my situation. Where do we go from here once the fight is announced? I don't know. As a content creator, I've heard, seen everything I wanted to with this fight. Where do we go from here? If the fight is announced, that's a big if it's without closure. If. You know what I'm saying? If. Where do we go from here once the fight is announced? You know, to be honest, me and I know a plethora of other people are saying to themselves, like, we've ran this shit far deep. You know what I'm saying? Far deep in the dirt. It has its own tombstone, and we should let this shit rest. Only thing we should be focused on is life. You know what I'm saying? The life of this fight. Put all down, conversations, lives. We've had, fight predictions, film study, bullshit. Because when you bias, you bias. When you bias, you bias. If you're gonna do film study and you're neutral, cool. But there's no need to do film study when you're extremely biased individual when it comes to this Crawford Spence. So film study, fuck all that. We don't want to hear no film study. We definitely don't want to see resume comparisons no more. We definitely don't want to see that because they're 50-50 on resumes right now as we speak. You know what I'm saying? I give Crawford the edge though. When we talk about resumes and freaking welterweight, when we talking about overall boxing credentials, you cannot sit up here and once again overlook that Crawford was once undisputed. You can't sit up here because it says Julius Ndongo. Okay? So if you're going to do that, then we have to take into consideration of who he beat, who Errol Spence beat for the titles, or your Dinas Ugas, or Sean Porter, and Sean Porter's other belt that Kell Brook had. You know what I'm saying? It gets a little bit cloudy when it comes down to resume comparisons. Because, before they were saying that Crawford ain't fought nobody. And me telling you this, you already heard me speak on it. So it's no need for me to speak on it again. We already did resume comparisons. We heard everything there is to hear about, Crawford winning undisputed. We heard about what they want to bring up 8 years ago against Gamboa. We heard everything about Omaha, and this, that, and the other. And, they feel his team hurt their feelings and shit like that. We've heard all that shit. We don't need to hear y'all continue to whine about anything. All we need to do is bring life to this topic. However that may be, I don't know how. I don't know how we can bring any more life to it once it's announced. Because you don't beat it with a stick over and over again to the point like you're trying to now lend it a helping hand with a flashlight. Here, let me help you. And it's goddamn, crowding down in the corner. You know what I'm saying? It's all scared. It's shaking and shit. Let me help you. No, don't be scared of the light this time. I'm not going to hit you. I'm not going to beat you over the head with it. Let me help you. The fight's been announced. I want you to come out of hiding from the darkness. Come here. I'm not going to beat you anymore. I'm not going to piss on you. Come on out. I'm not going to take a hot iron to you. I'm not going to beat you with a extension cord. I'm not going to verbal abuse you and call you all sorts of names. Come on, let me help you. It's time to build you back up. I want to help you recover from your wounds. That shit ain't going to happen like that. Ain't nobody going to do that shit. This motherfucking topic has been absolutely abused. This topic has been absolutely abused to the lowest form, man, of humanity. You have seen all these fights from all around get made. But now, people think it's going to change the game once this announcement happens. Man, now we want to see the fight. All we want to do is see the fight. Now, for Devin Haney's situation, man, I saw Bill, on some channels. Look, check this out. If Bill Haney chooses to click the link, all right? If Bill Haney chooses to click the link, that is him once again welcoming himself into a world of criticism. Bill is built to do that. He loves going into the firestorm. He loves going onto the battlefield to talk about this shit. That's what Bill Haney loves doing. He will request, he will locate, he will reach out, search, rescue. He will find the contact. Who is the plug that has this link? Give him my number so I can get this link. He will pull up, and he's been a part of so many lives, man. Even when Batman, shout out to Batman, rest in peace. Even when Batman's situation was going on with Gary Russell and Devin Haney, they spent hours upon hours, man, arguing. Batman, Bill Haney, Batman, and everybody else that was a part of that shit. So recently, the rumor has been going around as to let me back up a little bit. The rumor has been going around on if Devin Haney is going to fight George Kambosos. All right. Now, let's identify something right quick. Devin Haney came from behind. All right. Devin Haney came from the rear. He ended up crossing the finish line the right way. He fought George Kambosos June 5th. June 5th, right? June 5th. Check this out. He fought George Kambosos June 5th in Australia. The current date, as we know it, is June 30th. It has not been a full month yet. And we have people going in on the Haneys. I swear to God, dog. Oh my God, I can't make this shit up, bro. Listen, this is what it's no knock on them who was having the conversation. I don't have nothing to do with that, but I can't speak on it because it's public record. It's out there. We have people going in on Bill Haney, man. And Bill Haney going in on them. They correcting Bill, Bill correcting them. Listen to me carefully. This man has not even had a full month to relish in his undisputed titles. This is a fighter who went in the backyard of another fighter and did something no one else has done in boxing. He's become undisputed in the lightweight division in the 4-belt era to include the franchise belt. That accomplishment in itself is like, to me, it's saying I don't have to explain shit to you on what I plan to do next. That's what I'm telling you. If Scotty was in that position, I'm like, I don't have to explain shit to you niggas. Nothing. You wasn't in the gym rapping. You know what I'm saying? You weren't wrapping me up, getting me ready, warming me up. If Bill Haney is short, and I'm not advocating for Bill Haney at all. That's a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not advocating for anything that he had going on with this dialogue, but I am speaking on it because this is my take on it. You won the titles. Devin Haney won the titles. It hasn't even been a full month yet for him to just celebrate at peace. People want to know what's going on with the Gervonta Tank Davis situation. Now let me tell you what Scotty would do, right? So after I've accomplished this, and let's just say I have the option to vacate the belts if I don't want to fight Cambozo anymore. And being that I went over there and lost money, and this is where it's going to get a bit more edgy for those individuals. Because when I was over here looking and reading and listening, everybody was saying, damn, that's a fucked up contract, y'all. Man, that's a fucked up contract. That shit's fucked up, dog. Why would they sign some shit like that? It's a slavish contract, man. All that bullshit. So Devin went over there and made that shit look too easy. Same people that get on here and talk about we don't want to see that fight again. We don't want to see that bullshit again. We don't want to see that bullshit again. We don't want to see that no more. We don't want to see that no more. So then you look at, okay, what's next for Devin? Is he going to go back over there because it's contractually binding? Or should he vacate the belts and fight somebody else for a bigger paycheck? This is what Scotty would tell you. If it was me advising him, knowing that I get absolutely nothing but a defense of my titles, who gives a fuck if you defend those titles or not? At one point in time, I thought if the money was good for defending the titles, cool. But the money isn't good for him to defend the titles against Cambozo. The money isn't good. Boxing is a business. You got to make as much money as possible. The only way you do that is you achieve certain levels and then you continue to add on to your portfolio, which makes you much of a high commodity than the fighter beneath you that haven't, right? So Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis, all this talk back and forth, we don't know what's real. But I will tell you this. If there ever was a twinkle little star, goddammit. If it ever was a twinkle little star that said Devin could vacate the belts and fight Gervonta for a mega fight, for a big fight, because that is a huge fight, and make some pretty good money doing it after what he's been able to accomplish, being that they have Gervonta Davis at BoxRec, they have Gervonta Davis ahead of Devin Haney as the top lightweight. If he's able to vacate the titles and make more money, who gives a damn about vacating the belts? If Devin is going to vacate the belt, kudos to him. Because initially, they say they was making money with the zone, right? So then, being that the boxing world was conditioned to know that Devin Haney and Bill was over here negotiating their worth, and he was getting paid handsomely, for him to take a deal with Cambozo, then they turn around and say, oh, man, that's a fucked up deal. That's fucked up and all this other stuff. They barely getting paid anything. To the point where if he vacates and don't fight Cambozo and goes in there and fight Gervonta Davis, I feel that it's absolutely a lucrative, beneficial decision-making process, and that's the way boxing should go. Terrence Crawford didn't defend his undisputed titles. He moved the fuck up to a division where he can make more money. He wasn't thinking about, let me defend these titles 2 times and then I'm going to take a move up. No, that wasn't it, man. So if Haney has the opportunity to fight a big fight, a solid fight, outside of no Cambozo, none, without no legal stipulations, none of that shit, why not? How do you grade EJ on the Danny Garcia fight, man? Look, to be honest, all respect 215. Styles make fights, and Danny Garcia, he was tailor made to get beat up, and he did. His dad had to answer the questions. I have no more to say on that fight, man. That's his boy. Danny Garcia received the orders, man. He wasn't in there to win. $1 billion Bill will pull up. Absolutely, man. Bill cut out for that shit. Me, I pull up when I damn well feel like it with a purpose. Bill pull up, he has a purpose, and he believes that the people who's going to try to explain that purpose to is going to allow him to do that. That's just not the case. That's where it all goes wrong for Bill. Like, he should have a little bit more respect. I mean, why? Look, if I was in Bill's position, I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. I'll be very selective on who I'm pulling up on YouTube. Because if your whole intention is to try to overtalk me, belittle me, or whatever, or be domineering during the conversation, what is it proving? It does nothing for the listeners to hear people talking over each other like that, especially someone like Bill, who his son has basically made history. So why am I gonna pull up just to explain to people who really don't care to let you get your point off? And if you are allowed to get your point off, are the listeners going to be able to hear it clearly with everything that's going on? That's no knock on the situation. Like I said, I don't really have no problem with how it went down. That was Bill, and that was, the channels that he was on. But for me, if I was in Bill's position, I wouldn't be showing so much attention anymore to these, because but that's the way he cut from. That's the cloth he cut from. He'll come over here and he'll fuck with them. That's one thing I give Bill. He'll come over here and fuck with the channels. But you might not hear what you want, but he'll come fuck with the channels. I can't knock the man for that shit. But knowing that they're not going to give you any more respect than they would a Mauricio Suleiman or Bob Arum, that's my problem. Like, you've accomplished something that's amazing in boxing history, something that's going to potentially put them in the Hall of Fame. Real talk. It's going to potentially put them in the Hall of Fame. Now, I can't tell you I might be in attendance. I can't tell you that. By then, I might absolutely be in the hospice care. I'll be damn, I'm going to be on this live, talking about boxing. Hey, everybody. It's not going to fucking happen. Devin Haney's so young. By the time he make it to the Hall of Fame, man, I'm going to be up there talking to Pac, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be up there, in a whole nother place. But all I'm saying is, if he doesn't get the respect for what he's put into boxing, what him and Devin has been able to achieve, and he come on YouTube and it's all about browbeating and who can take control of the conversation, who can talk more, who can drop. Why we got to do each other like that? I don't see Mauricio Suleiman. Well, I did at one point in time, but I felt that it was light, but yet it was stringent. You know what I'm saying? I felt him, get the venom, but Mauricio came back with it. Bob Arum, I don't see him coming on here getting that type of heat. You know what I'm saying? The triple OG. So if Bill, what he's accomplished, I just see other boxing tandems that come on here. They're not getting browbeated like that. Like when I saw David Benavidez, they weren't browbeating David Benavidez and talking all that shit and trying to damn overtalk his pops. It's crazy. And you're talking about a fighter who lost his title twice. One for weight, one for drugs. And they was nice as they can be. But when bills show up, and you know, you got a prominent black trainer, manager in the game of boxing. He's going in an all-out verbal sparring match with people as if he's in the amateurs. Bill, if you're listening, you don't have to do that, bro. I know you built for the kill. I know you built for the kill on this YouTube shit. But you don't have to do that no more, my brother. Y'all have accomplished something. Y'all came from behind when a belt was sent to y'all from email to goddamn cleaning up your resume to basically going over there in Australia, win the first half of the Aussie double. Lopsided victory. You don't have to come on the YouTube and argue with these cats no more because they don't respect you enough to let you get your point out, man. It's not even fun because I look at them changing levels. I think the Haneys have changed levels, man. Real talk. When you win that many belts in the backyard of a fighter like Cambozo, undisputed, your first division. There's nothing else to talk about, bro. Bill's Boot Camp, what's good? Keep doing what you're doing, bro. Appreciate you. Bailey on deck. What's good, WCS? I'm addicted to your show now because I love your choice of diction. You have a healthy command of English language. Appreciate you, bro. You know, it's one point in time, my people was criticizing me for that Bailey. My people was criticizing me for that shit. You talking about a cat. You look, you talking about a dude who's straight out the ATL, man. You know? A dude straight out the ATL that had a infatuation with language and words. You know what I'm saying? And my own people used to criticize me. Try to have a conversation with them. And then when I want to get petty, I start pulling out the $7 words on their ass. And they'll be like, why do you think you have to talk like that? You're a coon. You're cooning right now. I never understood that, dog. Like, I can sit up here and chop it up. Showtime, man, me and him had plenty of conversations. I don't sit up here and have a conversation with people offline. But if you really truly want me to filter through the dictionary, which is a fascinating pamphlet. Look, the thesaurus, the dictionary, the Britannica, you know what I'm saying? It's a fascinating book, man. It's fascinating, bro. I think that is more. Look, I think that's more fascinating than the Bible, man. Real talk. Words is a fascination. Real talk. You gotta be fascinated with learning the English language because ultimately, it's the English language. So if it's a word that you're not familiar with, you can't blame nobody but yourself because it's somewhere somehow nestled in between the pages of some type of pamphlet or booklet that provides you the information. That's all. Showtime said, I personally feel like Spence team handlers never was confident with the Crawford matchup. It shows, especially when they act funny towards media that cover Crawford, but they claim build up the brothers. We have witnessed, hands down, certain media that's allowed to cover these fighters. I've seen it firsthand with PBC. I've seen it. Real talk. I've seen them catering to a lot of media. It is what it is, man. Like, you know, from my understanding, allegedly, the footage that was leaked from Derrick James when Errol Spence was getting touched up, allegedly was IFL. How? Why isn't it? It's a media segue that's over here in the States. How can they come all the way over here and get that special exclusive invite? Correa couldn't have fucked it up for everybody. ILTBA couldn't have fucked it up for every media. Because look, that's the reason why I went into shambles in the first place. Because, you know, from what I heard allegedly, that DJ wasn't feeling too comfortable with how he was running things, with his media shit. But I'm saying to myself, Errol Spence felt the need to advocate for ILTBA, so he felt comfortable. He felt like, yeah, this dude is going to bat for me. He's advocating. He's cheering for me. He's goddamn breaking shit down. He's on my side. I say this all the time. ILTB had the best position for Errol Spence, but it never would have worked because of DJ. Never would have worked. He just didn't like it. Like I told people about my run-in with him. Never met the guy in my life, and he tried to talk down on me like I was a little kid. He tried to talk down on me. He did. He did talk down on me, and we was at a top rank card, y'all. They was at a top rank card, y'all. They was at a top rank card. First time ever. And this dude come at me and try to talk down like I'm somebody little boy. I've been all around the world, man. Done briefed and top secret shit. Courier message, all that shit. Talk to damn high ranking generals, all this. And this brother speaks down on me. I never met him in my life. I just, on God, everything. Like my boy said, on a stack of Bibles. I never met DJ until that first time. And I walked up to him. I said, how you doing? Hey, I don't want to interview. I don't want to do this. I said, what the fuck? Anyway. That's a good point there, Showtime. The way they feel up building up, brothers, it might be head to the floor. You know what I'm saying? They may feel that they need to build your feet up first. And so they toss you upside down and put you on your head and say, don't worry about it. I know you're gonna feel uncomfortable. We're building you up, okay? We're building you up. We're gonna leave you on your head and we're gonna place you in this corner. We're gonna build you up. It's gonna be painful. By the time we turn you back over and you're on your feet, you will appreciate life better. This is true, but pay step aside. Okay, let's just say he pays step aside. What's the argument? Didn't Stanthionis just get paid step aside? Was anybody arguing about Stanthionis? Is anybody arguing about Jamel Charlo and who he's fighting next? If it's Tim Tszyu, whoever it is? Was anybody arguing? I'm just saying, was anybody arguing on who Josh Taylor's supposed to fight next after he became undisputed? Where's Stanthionis at? I don't believe anybody was trying to search for Stanthionis' team so they can come in here and get on their neck. I mean, why did he take step aside money? Why they wasn't holding the fighter accountable to face Stanthionis, who was next? Was anybody getting on freaking Anthony Joshua's them team when they was trying to portray that Tyson Fury is going to be next, as if Alexander Usyk wasn't waiting over there for his next up? Was anybody calling up the UK and Eddie Hearns and say, hey man, goddamn it, Eddie, we want to talk to you. We don't like this news you're putting out here. We just don't like it. Well, you tell me what news. I mean, you know what I mean? What news are we talking about? I mean, you seem a little bit upset and disgruntled, but explain to me, what news are you talking about? Alexander Usyk is supposed to be fighting Anthony Joshua, and you're trying to get an undisputed with Tyson Fury. Well, hold up for a second. Let me tell you something. Boxing, right? This is what we're talking about. Boxing. Boxing is a business. Understand, mate? Boxing is a business. And once you understand there's more money in Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, than it is in Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk. Tyson Fury's basically faced Deontay Wilder 3 times. And you're up here speaking to Sir Eddie Hearns about what is fair or not. Boxing isn't fair. You know what I mean? So don't come up to me crying and like a big grown baby talking about Alexander Usyk. He'll be okay. We just give him step aside money. And he'll go about his way. Be nice. Go to the store and buy some new shoes. But right now, we want to focus on the big money, the $100 million between Joshua and Fury. That's pretty much what Eddie Hearns is gonna tell y'all as. You know what I'm saying? Challenge Josh Taylor, tank second, and take Bob. No, D-Ray. Hold up. We ain't talking about taking Bob to court. No, I'm on good terms. I'm on good terms. I don't have nothing to do with that. No, we're not gonna do that, D-Ray. You can do it, I'm not gonna do it. Shout out to Top Rank. I had a damn good time covering their sport. I ain't got shit to do with what's going on with some damn lawsuit. For real. You know what I'm saying? And look, if you talk about goddamn Devin wouldn't have a leg to stand on if he tried to do something different outside of, being signed to Top Rank. See, Bob gets it. Bob will sit up here and say, okay, Devin Haney and Lomachenko. That's who Bob's really want, because that's an in-house fight. That's what Bob wants. In-house fight. He don't want anything that deals with him, losing money, so to speak. But once again, when shit hits the YouTube streets, it can go left or right. It depends on what alley it goes down. You know what I'm saying? It depends. I just would like to see, once again, a bigger fight. If Haney beat Cambozo, who beat the man, then he should have every right to basically abort mission on the Cambozo fight, which isn't a big money fight, and fight somebody with monetary value, like a Gervonta Davis. Not Ryan Garcia. No, Gervonta Davis. Or if they choose to go somewhere up at 40, cool. 40 is hot right now. If he can leave 35 and go fight somebody missing Josh Taylor, if you can leave 35 and go fight Josh Taylor and y'all feel comfortable, undisputed, and go over there and fight, even though he ain't fully undisputed no more, goddammit, but pick up the unified titles outside of the WBA. Do it. But once again, we don't know how that's going to happen, because Josh Taylor is set to fight Cepeda, man. So how he looked against Jack Catterall and how he's going to look against Jose Cepeda, who knows, bro? People are just looking at Cepeda doing the same thing to Vargas that just happened to him, dog. So, they give Cepeda mad credit for a knock him out, drag out fight with Varanchik. So he has that momentum going in there with Josh Taylor. So let's just say Cepeda dethrones Josh Taylor, and he finally is forced to move up to 47. Devin Haney going over here to fight Jose Cepeda. Oh, man. People will pay for that shit. People will pay to see Haney move up from 35 to 40. So either way it goes, if he vacates the belts and fights Gervonta, I want to see it. If he chooses to vacate and move up to 40 and get a shot at the unified titles, I'd like to see it. You would let Tank and Steven fight for them belts. Yes, man. Let these kids look. These dudes make money. Man, boxing is a sport that shows no mercy at the end of the day. No mercy, bro. No mercy. I just saw the interview on TBV with Paul Spatafora, man. He's up there helping training his son. Besides that, he was doing construction. The man only has one loss. But yet what they remember him from is shooting his girlfriend in the chest and being on drugs and everything else without knowing that his parents was on drugs, alcoholics. It's good to see him back out here. I know he had a life that I couldn't imagine. He's been in the maw of darkness that I really can't tell you about. What's going on, Crash? Facts or facts, I didn't like that at all. Alexander on deck. It's official, WCS. I tend not to check other channels for news. See? Alexander come over here and putting a question mark in your content. You comment. No, my thing is Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence has finally agreed. It's Thursday. That's all that was, bro. I'm not a poser, man. I don't sit up here and assault my comments with question marks. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. Bill and Team Haney on a new level. And you know what, Showtime? That's all I'm saying. They need to act like that. Like, don't be paying these channels. Real talk. Like, This is nothing to the brothers who channel they were on, right? But look, they talk about how blacks, right? They'll talk about how hip hop artists would say, okay, if you intend to live have longevity in your life, you need to stay away from where you came from. And then you have these motivational speeches where they said, if those that you left say that you changed, then you tell them, you're right, I have changed, because it was never meant for me to stay the same. They'll take shit like that when it comes to blacks, and they'll say in the hood that you sold out and you left and you ain't rocking with us no more, right? And then those same individuals that attempt to stay in that area and appease those end up getting killed. Then coming to boxing, right? They say, "Oh, black people, my people, we can't have a conversation together. We overly aggressive, this, that, and the other." Bill Haney them has achieved a level for which they don't have to come on YouTube like that. Bill doesn't have to come on YouTube because he doesn't have anything to prove no more. Devin's place in the lightweight history is solidified, point blank, period. He doesn't have to come in here and argue and have people demean him and speak dogmatic and be all overly aggressive, proving a point just to say because it's Bill Haney. Look, if you appreciate that man's company, you should say, "Hey, Bill, let's have a conversation. I know we're not going to agree on a lot of shit, but I'll let you go first, and then I'll go this, that." No, it shouldn't be all out chaos, man. Especially with majority of the attendees being black. And then Bill Haney being in the position he has, they was right there standing in Australia. Bill had the opportunity to witness his son making history. But yet when he come on YouTube, it's almost like, "Oh yeah, my son just turned an amateur." Well, he ain't proven himself though. Where he's going to be undisputed. Man, don't come on here with that shit. You don't know if he's going to be undisputed or not. We don't want to hear that. He ain't had his first pro fight yet. We don't want to hear that nonsense you talking. See, that's what it sounds like to me. If you happy that the Bill is able to come on here to YouTube, appreciate you even have access, because there's a lot of fighters that's never gonna come over here. Never. They ain't gonna come over here and give a shit because they say, "Man, fuck that. I'm not going over here and giving them my attention." I just didn't hear the same energy David Benavidez. His father was making rounds. They putting themselves out there. They having interviews. I didn't hear the criticism, bro. I'm just being honest, man. I didn't hear the shit. Tyson Fury is the all-bomb champion of all time. He won't fight Usyk. Doesn't want the loss. It depends on who wins this next fight, man. Anybody who followed me know I really haven't been high on Anthony Joshua. I just felt that his whole personality was extremely banal. I just felt like he just had no type of next level superstar, attention gaining fighting style outside of the UK Protection Committee. I just felt he didn't. I felt that they built him up, put all that muscle mass on him. They built him into a boxing Adonis. He had very poor cardio, and they was able to raise him up and get him the straps. And then when they fucked around and they said, "Hey, do me a favor, go out there and find a last minute replacement for Anthony Joshua. And don't make it too tough, okay? Short, little pudgy, okay? That's what I'm looking for. Short, little pudgy, so Joshua can pretty much lose his range. We can get this win, okay?" They fucked around and went and got Andy Ruiz, man. They forgot that, okay, don't get a short guy that's a little pudgy, but make sure he don't know how to box. Go ask Dana White. Do we have any fighters over there that can step in for Jarrell Miller, and so we can get this dub and keep it moving? They fucked around and pulled in Andy Ruiz, who pretty much defeated Joseph Parker. and Joshua quit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Joshua's acting tough. He feels that, he's with Robert Garcia right now. I don't know if Robert was able to teach him anything. Like, at one point in time, Joshua was coming in here talking about his mentors was drug, who it is, Big Meech and all them and all that, this, that, and the other. I try to tell these people that Anthony Joshua London Olympics was a farce. He lost the gold medal round to a guy who's a repeat champion. They gave it to Joshua, and that began his career. He was able to pick up the straps, and this fight he has coming up with Alexander Usyk is imperative, man. Oh my God, it's imperative to his boxing career that he gets the win, because now he becomes three-time unified heavyweight champion. Three-time unified heavyweight. Three, right, in this scenario is absolutely a charm. Three-time unified heavyweight champion. He needs to get this win against Alexander Usyk. He needs to regain his titles, man. If Anthony Joshua doesn't defeat Alexander Usyk this time around, he would be no more greater than any other champion that was over there in the UK that was a heavyweight. He wouldn't be anything special. You know what I'm saying? Even with the, three-time unified champion, they'll look at him a little bit better when he's in the Hall of Fame. They say, hey, it's Anthony Joshua. I remember him, this, that, and the other. But he is a three-time unified world heavyweight champion. Put your hands together and let's welcome Anthony Joshua. Eddie is annoying. Nah, man, I don't think so, bro. I used to be that way, Bateman. All right, on Eddie. Eddie's one of the best, man, at what he does in the game right now. Serious. The way he's able to communicate and have a bilateral dialogue with his fighters, how he's able to have that connection with both fighters, knowledge-wise. You don't hear him stutter a lot. You know what I'm saying? Eddie talks a lot of shit sometimes, but he's able to navigate, man. Navigate the waters. It don't matter if Chisora is on his right and goddamn Kubrat Pulev is on his left. It don't matter if it's David Hay. You know what I'm saying? He can navigate the waters, man. I used to be hard, Eddie Hearn Joshua, bullshit. The way they was treating Deontay Wilder, I was hard as shit on them. I say, man, that's fucked up that they trying to get this man a flat fee. It's fucked up. He come on here fooling people, talking about a $1 billion DAZN deal. I mean, yeah, it was contingent. A $1 billion contingent DAZN deal. That's what it was. He did me the same way, and I was trying to interview his fighter. That's not even active no more. He said no interviews. I don't know what DJ is trying to prove over there by not giving interviews to black media. I don't get it, man. I don't get, when I went up there to the fight, it was a lot of black people supporting him. People talk how he's all in the community and everything, cool. But I don't know, man. I don't know. You got Eddie Sauce down to a science hot grease, for real, man. I'm telling you, how many times I fuck with Eddie behind the scenes? I be fucking Eddie up behind the scenes. He don't even know it. I be practicing about motherfucking Eddie Hearn shit. What's going on in Naughty? What's good? You speaking facts? Why was they acting like that, man? I don't know, man. I have no idea, man. I just feel like it look like a brother like me, older cat. If I give my constructive criticism on something that people tuned into, they gonna say, "Oh man, you just hating on channel." I'm not hating on shit. I'm just telling you how I moved in life and how I understand people to want to treat me. You know what I'm saying? Like Bill and Devin Haney, they don't have to do that. They don't have to come to YouTube no more if they don't want to. Devin Haney changed levels, man. He changed levels in his career. I mean, look, let me ask you this question. Can you imagine how many belts he has? How many belts accompany him right now? When he's walking through wherever he's living, all the freaking belts that he has and what he's able to accomplish, man. And look, he even came out and did an interview a couple days later or several days later on TBV. And he wasn't acting, like brand new. I mean, Devin really don't fuck with YouTube like that anyway. But he really wasn't acting brand new. He was just acting like, average dude, blah blah blah. He came on TBV and talked about the shit. Now he's getting back into his freaking bag and talking his shit because it's Gervonta Davis. Because they want to talk about sparring. They want to talk about this, that, and the other. Why does BoxRec have, Gervonta Davis ranked above Devin Haney? I don't know, man. Boxing has this strange science when they all get together, man, and come up with this criteria as to who's in the rankings. I gave y'all the breakdown of Jaron Ennis that time when he moved from 15 all the way up to number 2. Why is Gervonta Davis, who, look, when I was telling y'all he's brilliant for what he's doing, y'all don't listen to a person like me because I guess y'all don't have enough people that's in my chat. But I told you what Gervonta Davis was brilliant. This is what I mean by that. This dude has had majority of WBA regular titles, just like Floyd, right? He hasn't really tried to unify the division. He's been collecting divisions, all right? He really haven't tried to unify. He collected them. So he's a 3-weight champion. In the meanwhile, he's fighting on pay-per-view also. He came down to ATL twice, gave us some love, you know what I'm saying, with Gamboa and Mario Barrios. He gave us some love down at ATL, made his money there, right? But the whole format, the structure was pay-per-view. Pay-per-view separates a fighter from the average, especially Gervonta Davis, because he has the skill set and he has that TNT in his hands for a highlight reel knockout. So now you see him ranked higher on the pound for pound list when Devin has all the belts you can possibly have at lightweight. It ain't no other belts he can get for unification. He has every bit of those belts, right? And this hasn't even been 30 days yet. But yet Devin Haney is ranked above him on the BoxRec pound for pound. Why? How can Gervonta Davis be ahead of a fighter who has all the belts? Do anyone of y'all have the answer? Because, you try to explain to boxing that it really doesn't have no one-sided protocol. You know what I'm saying? Boxing is sporadic. It has many branches where people can eat off of, pick fruit wherever they feel like. Boxing is unpredictable. When you think something's going to go this way, it go the opposite. How can a fighter like Gervonta Davis, 3-weight divisions, to Devin Haney's 1, which he's earned undisputed, how can you place him not just on the ranking systems in one division, but what criteria are you basing that off of? And he doesn't have the belts. So only for certain fighters, belt matters? What matters, PPV or does the belts? Because if a fighter doesn't have the PPV experience or the numbers, what really matters? Seriously, what really matters? Because you know how this, I'm gonna say this shit is contradicting, right? You know where I'm going with this, right? Y'all know where I'm going with this, right? We're talking about belts, divisions. You know where I'm going with this. What is the criteria of boxing? What criteria are they using for this? They're basically pretty much telling y'all to your face. Those of you that's on YouTube and y'all saying, oh, so-and-so doing all the heavy lifting. Well, per the ranking system, they saying the heavy lifting ain't got shit to do with anything. Heavy lifting ain't got shit to do with anything. You know why? Because this is where I'm going with it. Gervonta Davis, 3-weight divisions, is proving to you once again as to why Crawford is in front of Spence on the pound for pound list. It's pretty much explaining to you that boxing does respect the divisions at a certain point. It depends on where you at in your career. It do respect the divisions. Overall in the career, Crawford doesn't. I mean, Crawford has more belts than Errol Spence. But when it comes to the YouTube community, they'll say that all the heavy lifting was done by Errol Spence, and he has more belts than Crawford, which doesn't mean a damn thing to say that he's the best welterweight when you have a welterweight that's on the pound for pound list that's above him. So are you really making any sense? Are you not looking at Gervonta being a pay-per-view guy? It doesn't matter if Crawford's not a pay-per-view guy. They telling you that they're appreciating the amount of divisions and him being undisputed as to why he above on the pound for pound. They're appreciating the fact that Gervonta Davis has those 3 weight divisions and he's on pay-per-view. He may not have those unified titles, but it's who he's with, okay? Mayweather Promotions, PBC, whoever, and he's pay-per-view. And with every division, he's picked up a title. It don't matter if it's been the WBA regular. It don't fucking matter. He's picked up 3 divisions, and they putting him in front of Devin Haney because he has a single division with all the straps. Now, tell me how dysfunctional that criteria is to you. How dysfunctional is it? Do you need to take a moment, pop a pill or two to figure this shit out? Like, people get on YouTube and talk about heavy lifting all day, every day. But then when shit play out like this, they don't really put it together. They'll hear WCS say some shit like this and say, "Oh man, you're on some bullshit." Yeah, I am on some bullshit for real. Like, if Gervonta Davis is in that position and he has 3 weight divisions, if Devin Haney did all the heavy lifting, why aren't y'all sitting up here crying and advocating the fact that Devin Haney did all the heavy lifting? Why y'all sitting over here arguing with Bill Haney about who he fighting next? Didn't Devin Haney do all the heavy lifting? Shouldn't Devin Haney be in front of Gervonta Davis because of the heavy lifting, or that just pertains to Crawford because y'all love talking about this fight? Okay, I got it. Got it. Real talk, I got it. I got it. Real talk. Devin Haney did all the heavy lifting. But I just don't see the same energy when you say, hey, Devin Haney did all the heavy lifting. He should be in front of Gervonta Davis, no doubt about it. Why isn't he in front of Gervonta then? When it comes to the ranking system for lightweight. If Errol Spence did all the heavy lifting, why isn't he in front of Bud Crawford if he's considered the best welterweight, but yet he's below the pound for pound list? But then those same people say, well, you kind of contradicting yourself. All you got to do is look on the rankings for welterweight. They approve my point. But I'm telling you, if indeed you're analyzing the freaking criteria, and if they indeed have Errol Spence in front of Terrence Crawford on the welterweight, why doesn't it not reciprocate over to the pound for pound list? Because Bud Crawford is campaigning in the same division as Errol Spence. Why doesn't it reciprocate and transfer and carry forward over to the pound for pound list if you have him above a pound for pound fighter that's contending in the same division welterweight, but yet he's higher on the pound for pound list? Doesn't it carry forward your achievements when it's come to the pound for pound list? It carries forward. It carries forward. What you seeing with Gervonta Davis is carried forward. He's a 3-weight champion PPV. It's carried forward to them to put them where he at. $20 on deck. What's good? Devin won the belts from Kambosos, and I guess Boxing World believe Tank will whoop Kambosos too. That would be destruction. That would be an annihilation, and that would be a point where, the EMT that's supposed to be the doctor, whatever, they should make sure they get very close to the ring apron. For real, that'd be worse. That'd be worse than Rolly. He said, not the belts, the opponents matter. We can't say the opponents matter. We can't say the opponents matter. Because look at this, 20. Okay? And appreciate your input. If the opponents matter, people will credit Devin the appraising value for beating the man who beat the man who beat the man. It doesn't get any more high praise than that. The value doesn't increase any more than that when you're talking about boxing. He beat Kambosos, who beat Teofimo, who beat Lomachenko, bro. How can you not be number one on the rankings, on the ranking systems of lightweight with all the titles just because somebody's on pay-per-view? And really, if you look at Kambosos, they're gonna say, well, yeah, he did. Yeah, he beat T.O. T.O. never defended his title. Lomachenko was never undisputed. He ducked Devin. He came franchise. It's always a way to break shit down. It's always a way as to why whoever's at the table, at the round table, and they're coming up with this criteria, it's always different minds. Different minds do not think alike. They may come to an agreement on certain things, but they don't think a lot alike to get to that agreement. It has to be a point of time where they choose, okay, this is an area that I can comply with. So therefore, I'm looking at this. If you're talking about opponents, then people are going to say, like they was talking about, well, Gervonta ain't fought nobody. That's what they're saying. Gervonta ain't fought nobody. Mario Barrios was a bigger fighter, taller fighter, and he was a WBA regular champion. So they'll go back and say, who did Mario Barrios fight? And negate the fact that he was a champion at 140 and Tank moved up to fight him. If Mikey Garcia, right, would have moved up from 35 and beat Spence, he would have received all the credit in the world and nobody would have gave a fuck about it because he beat Spence. Because of Spence's popularity, him being on the pound for pound list. Just like Teofimo Lopez got credit for defeating Vasil Lomachenko, who was second on the pound for pound list. And when he beat him, they put Teo in 6. It all depends. It all depends on the fighter, bro. It all depends. Because really, Mario Barrios is not going to freaking pique anybody's interest to say he was a world beater. You know what I'm saying? Isaac Cruz, nope. Unproven. You know what I'm saying? Isaac Cruz is unproven. He was unproven, and he took that fight on last minute notice. Unproven. Rolly Romero, okay? Rolly Romero was unproven. And to the hardcore boxing fans, they totally understand that he was gifted a decision over there in Connecticut. But leading up to this fight, you had people on YouTube saying, Rolly Romero, he can knock out Tank Davis. Here's why. You had people unable to basically compare previous opponents of Rolly Romero to link him up to how he's going to be competitive with Gervonta Davis. It was nobody on Rolly Romero's resume that could resonate an interest to say, you know what, this is how he's going to fuck up Tank. All they was going off was the same shit people was doing with Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. They would say, Anthony Joshua, he's big, he's bulky. You see his pecs? Oh man, those biceps. You know what I'm saying? Those delts. They looking at how big Rolly is and looking at how crazy videos were when he was doing his damn Matrix shit. They was actually giving Rolly a chance, $20,000 worth, to go in there and defeat Gervonta Davis, who I've seen spar, who I've seen fight, who I've told people he's a savage. He's smart as fuck when it comes to this ring shit. He goes in there and set traps, work his way up there, and he closed out Rolly Romero. Nobody's talking about that shit no more. But leading up to the fight, it was people saying, Rolly Romero, he has a chance. So Gervonta Davis not going to get any credit for Rolly Romero. All because he's the interim WBA champion at the time. Nobody gives a fuck about that. All they was going off that he was signed with Mayweather. He was bigger, stronger, and Gervonta is in a perfect place right now. I tell y'all, because people want to see him lose. Gervonta's in the perfect place. He's in that Mayweather space right now. People want to see Gervonta Davis lose, and they're gonna pay to see this dude lose. It's gonna be him or them when it comes down to it. I can't see AJ beating Usyk. He don't have the gas, and Usyk has a chin, so I can't see it. It's a lot that I can't see about that either, man. Real talk, I can't see it. AJ just don't. I don't know. It's something like he's tall. He's a big dude, man. But when it comes down to just that Usyk, that craziness that he has internally, you could tell Usyk is a different dude. He's a different type dude, man. You could tell by his haircut. When he walked into the Stewart Hotel, the dude had on platform shoes, draped in all black. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't rock no shit like that. The brothers would be like, "Oh, look at that. What's wrong with Scotty? Why did he wear some shit like that? He has on a gown." But Usyk coming that motherfucker. Oh shit, that motherfucker fly. Damn. Look at the drip on Usyk. This mother dressed in all black with platform shoes on. This dude looked like he stepped straight out of his country, onto the plane, off the plane, and came in this motherfucker. I mean, the outfit he had on was the drip. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, he's a different type of dude, bro. And then I was taking pictures. He saw me taking pictures. He was playing around for the camera and shit. Shout out to Usyk, man. Go stump on Joshua, man, and see if Tyson Fury want to fight you. For real. Not the belts, the opponents matter. There's an old saying that you skid further on BS than you would on gravel. I like that. I like that, dog. But boxing is putting that saying to shame these days. I like that. You scared further on BS than you do gravel. You real talk. Hey, hey. The only thing about that, Bateman, is that you can slide on BS and you might not feel the pain you would on gravel. So it allow you to go longer distances than you would on gravel. Because we all know you slide your ass on gravel, you're going to try to get the fuck up very quickly. On bullshit, it may not be uncomfortable. You can slide a lot more on bullshit because it may not be uncomfortable. The ride may be, pretty good for you. It might be comfortable. So you stay on it long enough. You slide your ass on some gravel, it's a wrap, dog. So why not punk Tank on the why not put Tank on the pound for pound list? That was weird though. I don't know. Because just because you like you look at a lot of people, man, that's on the pound for pound list, they rank number one in their division. You know what I'm saying? They're ranked number one in their division. Seriously. Like, now, of course, we have to exclude the Lomachenko effect. We don't know why Lomachenko is still on the pound for pound list. We have no idea. We have no idea whatsoever. But when it comes to Gervonta Davis, if they're going to rank him on BoxRec and he's not on the pound for pound list, it has something more to do with the politics, the underground politics that we can't grab a hold of. There's no way for me to download that data. I don't know. I don't know where to download that from. I can't find templates. There's no standard operation procedure, SOPs, that tells us what is the criteria based off of when it comes down to pound for pound. Where's it based off of? Because we have Lomachenko on there with no belts, but yet Gervonta Davis is not on there. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. Look, Stephen Fulton's not on there either. He's unified champion. What did Beterbiev have to do to be on that motherfucker? What did he have to do? It's not like the guy he fought was undefeated. What is the criteria? What did Jamel Charlo have to do to get on there? I'm just saying, I have no idea what the criteria is. Down the line, what's the criteria? Why Shakur Stevens is not on there? Shakur defeated a guy who beat the guy. Oscar Valdez beat Miguel Berchelt, and Shakur defeat Oscar Valdez. Put a good whooping on him too. He's a two-weight champion, 3-time world champion. I don't know, man. Y'all find out, let me know. I can't put Tank on pound for pound list. Hasn't really been against anyone. And that's what the dilemma is. Like, boxing will always have individuals that don't mean shit to everybody. That's just the way the boxing is set up. One time I'm going to do a live, right? I'm not even gonna put it out there because somebody's gonna steal my shit and they're gonna say, well, you know what? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna do a live. That shit's gonna be fire. And it's gonna be pertaining to what I have to say in reference to you can't put Tank on the pound for pound list because he hasn't been against anyone. That's always gonna be the case with boxing. That's always going to be the case. It's not going to be a murderer's row, so to speak, of individuals that you can just highlight their whole entire record. You know what I'm saying? Like Jihad Tucker. Jihad Tucker doesn't have no losing records of opponents on his record. But then, you know, they'll say, well, who has he fought that we know? Well, he just finished fighting DeAndre Smith, who had one loss. Well, who did DeAndre Smith fight? You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be the criticism of opponents. Okay, they're gonna look at the fighter, and they're gonna look at who you basing, just like I do Spence, just like they did Wilder, just Joshua. You know what I'm saying? Usyk. Like a lot of cats praise Usyk and shit, but then they look at it like, okay, who did he fight to get those titles at cruiserweight? Okay, who did Jamel Charlo fight to get his titles? Jason Rosario. Who did he fight? Did he fight anybody special outside of J-Rock? Can we give J-Rock credit for beating Jerry Hurd? Yes. But can we give him credit as a fighter that was sustainable? No. Because in big fights, okay, then. You know, it's always going to be criticism, man. You know, J-Rock beat Jerry Hurd, Jason beat J-Rock, and Jamel Charlo beat Jason. So then when it comes down to it, do they really give credit to Jamel Charlo? Yeah, they are. In the rematch. In the rematch, they're going to give him full credit. But what's next? They're going to say, what's next? They're going to say, Brian Castano, who did he beat? Patrick Teixeira for the title? Who is Patrick Teixeira? Who is that? Boxing will always have that who that moment. Who that? Who that? Who did he beat? Who that? Who that? You know what I'm saying? Who that? Just like Nonito Donaire, right? He defeated Nordine Obali. I remember when Obali fought Rashi Warren for the vacant WBC bantamweight title. Who that? They're gonna say, who is Nordine Obali? They know Donaire, but who that? It's always gonna be that, man. What did he do? Who did he beat? What did he do? Who did he beat? So we'll have to find out some criteria for Gervonta Davis, man. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't know, bro. You think so? Did he spank Terrell Goucher? Real talk. Did Tim Tszyu spank Terrell Goucher, that Bateman? The same Terrell Goucher who was up there dancing around in the elevator with Erickson Lubin. You know, I mean, and time that they decided to trade. You know, it was near the end of the fight. It was like in round 10. You know, Lubin got hurt a little bit, but he ended up closing out the fight. Goucher comes back. You know, he ended up running to Jamonte Clark. Jamonte Clark gets stopped in the second round. People now back on Terrell Goucher's wagon. He steps in with Tim Tszyu, and it went the way it went. I didn't think that Tim Tszyu was just an annihilator. I mean, yeah, he might be trying to do the same thing that Ricky Hatton's son found out that he couldn't accomplish when he started stepping into the ring. Just because your pops was this damn enforcer doesn't mean you're able to do it. I don't see Tim Tszyu like his father, bro. I don't see that, man. I don't see it. Even his father, man, like he's trying to say when he's stepping there with Jamel Charlo, it's gonna be Tszyu versus Zab Judah. You know what I'm saying, man? I ain't worried about that shit. But man, y'all hold it down. I got some shit to take care of. We'll be back on here a little bit later. Lee said, I can't put Tank on there because he has never unified and has only been a real champion at one weight class. He won 2 regular belts. Now, when you clarify real there, Lee, you got to understand that boxing has chosen to saturate the sport with titles. So, look, who are we to sit up here and identify what's real and what's not? When the sanctioning bodies have basically implemented these belts enough to the point where they're considered real belts for fighters to go in there and risk their life. Fighters are going in there risking their life. So the belt is real enough for them to sanction a bout and fight for the title. So why isn't it real enough for Tank to get credit for being a WBA regular titleist? When you become interim champion, are you a champion? Are you a champion? I'm just saying. His little brother is Nikita is a beast. He is someone I'm looking forward to watching come up. Man, they have a lot of fighters that's on the come up on the ladder, man. They waiting their turn, but I just didn't get that high sense to say that Tim Tszyu is this apex. Like this dude that gave Zab Judah what he was able to do with Zab Judah, man. Let's not act like Zab Judah wasn't in there with some big names and put those hands to work. Let's not act like that now. Let's not act like the Tim Tszyu is a replica of his father. I don't see it like that, people. Real talk. I don't see Tim Tszyu as like that. Maybe he has some more fights against some bigger names. I'll say, okay, yeah, I'm really high on this dude. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I gotta give Jamel Charlo his flowers when it comes to going in there, getting that shit popping. Like when it was time for him and Castano to exchange, he exchanged, man. He exchanged. He was like sitting there with his head cocked to the left, like, what? I ain't run. What? I ain't run. I'm here. And then he ended up breaking him down and stopping him, man. All the other shit don't matter the way I feel about the Charlo brothers. That shit don't matter. I have to give him credit for going in the motherfucking square in another rematch and getting a knockout. He stopped Tony Harrison in the rematch, and he stopped motherfucking Brian Castano, dog. Man, y'all continue to support the channel, man. Share the content. Y'all already know what it is, man. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. I'm out.